To you from Santa Ynez, California. This is the Chumash Casino Resort, where it's time for our opening bout of the night and the new season. A welterweight battle between Jose Antonio Ojeda and Arturo Barraza, scheduled for 6 rounds. Let's start with Tony Ojeda. He's 26, born in Mexico, and now fights out of nearby Santa Maria, California. Ojeda won 37 of 39 amateur bouts and a Los Angeles Golden Gloves title in 1999. He turned pro a year later, fought 5 times in 2000 before he quit boxing. Last year, Ojeda came back after the near 3-year layoff, scored a couple of KOs before losing a majority decision last September. He's a boxer-puncher who vows to box a little and then attack a lot tonight. We hope he makes good on that promise. Tony Ojeda, 6-3, 4 KOs. Steve, what's behind those numbers?
Well, Nick, to begin with, from 2000 to 2003, Ojeda had almost a 3-year layoff. He got married, and his wife said no more boxing. Now he's back, and yes, he is still married. Rounds and rounds, the experience edge goes to Ojeda. He's fought 34 rounds as a pro to only 16 for Barraza. And in closing, in his last 4 fights, Ojeda has been the underdog each time, but he's won 3 of those fights. He's the fighter with momentum.
Well, his opponent tonight, Arturo Barraza, says he beat Ojeda in the amateurs. Barraza is from Oxnard, California, about 100 miles down the coast, and says he respects his opponent's strength. So the game plan for him may be to use speed and movement to slowly break him down. Barraza turned pro over 2.5 years ago, but getting in trouble on the streets led to a battery conviction and jail time. His trainer is former world champion Robert Garcia, who's worked on Barraza's dedication so he can realize his potential. We'll see what he has tonight. Arturo Barraza, 4-1, 2 knockouts. What's behind the numbers, Steve?
Well, for starters, Nick, Barraza's fought only 5 times since turning pro in 2001. He's never been past 4 rounds. Is this a reach? Barraza's been fighting as a junior welter, and tonight he wants, and eventually he wants to get down to lightweight. Tonight, he is the much smaller man. Finally, Barraza says he beat Ojeda in the amateurs, and that's given him confidence going into tonight's fight.
So that's the setup story as we get ready to watch Tony Ojeda try and make a statement when he takes on Arturo Barraza in the first bout of our new season here on ShowBox. We're happy to also have with us tonight world-renowned ring announcer Jimmy Lennon Jr., who has the introductions now.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and we welcome you to the Chumash Casino Resort here in beautiful Santa Ynez, California. Well, fans, we have a big night of action in store for you. It's ShowBox, the new generation, and it's all brought to you by Gary Shaw Productions in association with the Santa Ynez Band of Chumash Indians, Budweiser, the undisputed king of beers, and Showtime. Tonight's action is sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission. The chairman is Gordon Van Souter, and the executive director is Rob Lynch. Introducing to you our 3 judges scoring this bout from ringside. From Villa Park, California, Max DeLuca. From Los Angeles, California, Dr. Lou Moret. And from San Diego, Fritz Werner. Our 3rd man in the ring, the referee in charge of the action, is Dr. James Jenkin. All right, fans, here we go with a welterweight special attraction scheduled for 6 rounds of boxing. Introducing to you first on my right, he is fighting out of the blue corner, wearing brown trunks with gold trim. He weighed in at 144 1/2 pounds. His record, 4 wins, 1 loss, with 2 wins coming by way of knockout, representing La Colonia Boxing Club in Oxnard, California, introducing Arturo Barraza. And his opponent across the ring on my left, fighting out of the red corner in this 6-round attraction. He is wearing black trunks with white trim. He weighed in at 144 pounds. His record, 6 wins, 3 losses, 4 of his wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, from Santa Maria, California, introducing Jose Antonio El Monarca Ojeda. And once again, Dr. James Jenkin is our referee in charge now to give instructions.
Mouthpiece.
6-round scheduled bout.
Mouthpiece. Mouthpiece. Gentlemen, obey my commands. Let's go.
You see Ojeda, the bigger guy. The weight doesn't indicate it, but he's been the bigger guy previous to this fight. Barraza been junior welterweight.
And the rules here in California, no 3 knockdown or standing 8-pound count. You could be saved by the bell in the last round. Only the referee or the doctor can stop the fight. The referee, Dr. James Jenkin, as Jimmy Lennon Jr. pointed out, is about to get this fight underway. And here we go. Jose Ojeda wants to be called Tony, so we will do that. He's in black. Usually a slow starter, Steve. With 6 rounds, you can't afford to get many away.
That's for sure. And pretty much as we expected, Barraza's opening up in movement. Good news for Barraza, this is a huge ring. It's about 22 feet. The bad news, I stepped in that ring, and the canvas gives a lot. And that means it works against the mover because obviously it's like running in sand. It takes more energy when your feet sink into the canvas. And that energy will deplete as the rounds progress if he keeps moving a lot.
Barraza's in the brown, and he is moving backward, but at least flicking the jab that's coming up short. But it's Ojeda trying to punch with more conviction. He said he may feel his guy out a couple of rounds. There he goes to the body with the right hand. But after that, he will attack with a vengeance. Double jab as he stuffs it between the gloves of Arturo Barraza. Ojeda's the taller fighter and the naturally bigger man, although Barraza obviously got lazy, blowing up to over 180 pounds when he wasn't fighting.
That size difference. Look at the bodies, Nick. I mean, those are 2 very different types of bodies. Ojeda cut, big, and right-handed.
Ojeda first cracked with that left hook, and there's the hook again upstairs this time. But I'm impressed, Steve, with Ojeda's commitment to some body punching.
That looks like a soft body, as you said, but with Barraza.
Combination to the head, and that seemed to wake up or slightly stagger Arturo Barraza. And now it's Ojeda and black opening up. Sharp right hand by Tony Ojeda, who has been impressive in round 1. We're inside a minute to go. And it's Barraza absorbing the punishment here, looking vulnerable.
Well, the 2 knockouts Barraza has were scored with right hands. He better find something to keep Ojeda off him, or he won't make it out of the second round, or maybe even the first round.
Very impressed the way Ojeda doesn't just follow Barraza around the ring. He's effective for a guy with just a few fights, is basically cutting him off. Barraza trying to get into this fight offensively, wings some shots that miss. So Ojeda staying very much in control and fighting off his back leg there with a hard right hand.
At least Barraza's trying with the right hand.
He gets staggered there by a left to the head just before the bell will end. An action-packed round 1. They'll be speaking Spanish in Ojeda's corner. Our translator is former world champion Alex Ramos.
All right, Tony Ojeda. This is your fight, buddy.
Well, now it's English.
You know what? Give you 10 seconds. Fine. You can stop him. Stop him in this round if you want to. Tony, listen to me. Don't follow him. Vete pa acá, vete pa acá.
Don't follow the fighter.
First round action, Ojeda just seems so much stronger physically. And there you see Barraza wobbles. He was wobbled about 3 times in that round. This is at the end of the round. That right uppercut is the punch that did it. Right now, it's just physical mismatch.
Let me correct, Alex Ramos never won a world title, but he was a contender for years. As we go to round 2, and Tony Ojeda, the instructions from Willie Flores, his trainer, you can take this guy out anytime. And Steve, it looks like he can. He is dominating this fight, but at least Barraza is not simply running.
You know, the first half of that first round, Barraza seemed almost I don't want to say gun shy, but maybe you know, the deer in the headlights kind of thing. He wasn't really doing anything. Even if he throws some right hands that don't have much effect, it'll keep him in the fight.
Again, it's Barraza who claims to have beaten Ojeda. In the amateurs, Ojeda says he doesn't remember fighting him, but no disrespect. Barraza has enormous respect, though, for Ojeda's strength. And he looks, again, clearly the man in black to be the stronger guy. Ojeda taking his time for a guy with not a lot of polish and certainly not a lot of miles on his fighting odometer, Steve. He's fighting very much under control. Now swinging for the fences as he has Barraza hanging on in the corner.
I think the referee did
a little
favor.
I thought that was an early break.
You know, he works to get his man to the ropes. He gets him there. Their arms weren't tied up, so why break them?
They're jabbing at once. What a solid jab by Ojeda, and that just knocked his man down. Wild shot misses by Barraza, and he is wide open with his chin in the air, Steve.
You love those jabs, don't you?
Oh, I do. It's
Any fighter who jabs.
All right, my book. Solid left hook again.
Let him go like that.
Ojeda showing good power, shaking up his man. And let's see if Barraza in the brown can still fight under control. He's got to sense the desperation. This is scheduled for 6 welterweights. We're in the second heat, and Tony Ojeda in black is taking it to Arturo Barraza.
Now what's happening now, Tony's backing Barraza up, and when Barraza decides to punch, he's reaching with his right hand. He doesn't have the balance. He's not leading with a jab.
And he is getting rocked now, backing up, and now against the ropes, and let's see if he can fight his way out of serious trouble. Ojeda chasing his man down, almost running after him, rocked him with a shot to the ribs, and now he goes upstairs with that right hand.
Back off when you come in.
Give it to Barraza, Steve. He is game, but looks outclassed and outdone.
Exactly. He doesn't have the gun. The difference in power is tremendous. Look at the leverage Ojeda gets on his punches, and he's punching to the body when he comes in. That makes a big difference.
You said it. Ojeda, a guy with only 9 professional fights, looking sharp as could be here with a furious combination. As Dr. Jenkin is looking to possibly stop it, but instead it is Arturo Barraza saved by the bell in a round that could be a 10-8, Steve.
Hey, use that extra point. That is 10-8. It all started because Barraza reached with his right hand. Ojeda countered, and the rest was what you saw in the last 10 seconds.
¿Sí son? ¿Ya te cansaste? Ok, eso es lo que hay que hacer.
He's going to come out here and forward,
How do you start now?
He's going to jump right on you, so be smart.
Yeah, you're starting?
Come on, man. Smart now. Come on. You're getting smart.
How's he feeling?
Okay, this is what I want you to do.
Right out on you.
All right? This is what I want you to do.
Roll him.
Keep your hands,
Don't go straight
in
back.
close, Dave. In cerradita, bro. Here, in your face, all right?
And this was almost the end of the fight. If this was 30 seconds earlier in the round, I think the referee would have stepped in. How many of these punches are landing flush? Very few. But nonetheless, referees have to react to what they see. And right now, it's all one guy punching. Usually, in a situation like that, with Barraza backed up, that's enough for a referee to step in. The bell clearly saved Barraza.
Well, let's see what happens here, because Barraza's corner said, be smart. How exactly, other than don't walk straight back. Don't pull right back. Try to give angles, but when you're fighting for your life and your world is fairly rocked, how do you keep that kind of composure, Steve?
Well, he lacks the balance right now and the timing to do anything significant offensively. As a result, he's going to get hit. He's going to get hurt. He's going to get knocked off balance. And Ojeda might finish him this round.
Barraza's had only 5 professional fights, won 4 of them, a couple by KO, but seriously outclassed here. He's showing that he's got a chin, but little else, as Barraza's offensive firepower just not able to get into gear. And that's because Tony Ojeda has him seriously out of sync. Ojeda ducks under a combination, now regroups, resets, and has his man cut off and against the ropes in the corner again. But he misses wildly with a right, compact left to the jaw, and now it's Barraza trapped again, as he won't get off the rope. Center of the ring as he still absorbs punishment.
Might be a good idea for us to hold once in a while. Look at him, he's just taking punches.
That's what being smart is, you're right. His right hand is up in front of his jaw as he's trying to use head movement to deflect this rain of punishment Tony Ojeda is applying.
And Ojeda's doing the right thing, Nick. He's going to give Jenkin no choice but to stop it by throwing a lot of punches. Doesn't matter if there's a lot on them. If he keeps throwing punches and snapping that head back, referee will step in.
He tries the 1-2 there, got full extension on that right-hand shot. Oh, another one right down the middle. That had to hurt. There's the right hand. And Dr. Jenkin is looking here, the referee, seeing if Barraza can fight back. And again, he breaks him.
Well, Barraza is trying to fight back. He's been very ineffective, and there have been 2 times in this round where I thought the referee should have, not just could have, but should have stopped the fight.
Barraza and Brown, his hands are down. Now he resets, tries to get the offense in gear, fighting off his back leg, though. Ojeda almost pulled the trigger on the right, and then digs those short, compact right crosses in. There's the left to the body.
Did you see that, Barraza?
Yeah, with the tongue out. Not a good idea as Ojeda cranks up the juice, pumps up the volume. The only danger here, halfway through, he can punch himself out. And Arturo Barraza showing one positive quality in this fight. He can take a shot.
He's from Oxnard. That's where Fernando Vargas is from. He's got some of that Vargas heart.
Saved by the bell. And the Dr. Jenkin, the referee, has seen it all. Arturo Barraza wailing that they shouldn't stop it. His corner knows better, as does the referee. As Tony Ojeda delivers as advertised, Dave, he said he will get vicious soon.
He didn't look like a fighter with a 6-3 record. He looked better than that. He's a former LA Golden Gloves champ, and I was impressed with Tony Ojeda.
Based on his competition, you still say that it was Barraza any kind of competition to you?
No, that's a fair question, but you know what? You watch how he threw his punches, the leverage he got. He looks like a real good offensive fighter. As for defense, who knows? We didn't see any.
Never came in the call. He didn't. Well, they both finish on their feet, but Tony Ojeda is the guy who will move forward. The welterweight now fighting out of Santa Maria, California, about 30 miles north of here. Scores big and delights probably what is mostly a hometown crowd for him. As we look at the loser in this one, a 3rd round stoppage. And Steve will have a look at how it finished again.
Well, the 3rd round was not really any different than the 1st and 2nd. It was all Ojeda. This is early in round 3. 22-foot ring doesn't help when Barraza's against the ropes. He didn't clinch. He didn't get low enough. You see him bending a little bit there, but why not grab? That's something so many young fighters don't know how to do. As a result, look at the referee. He's waiting. And then later in the round, that was a pretty solid right hand. I'm a little surprised Dr. Jenkin, who's a veteran Los Angeles and California official, didn't stop this fight. Ojeda a little punched out there, but this target practice. I mean, there's nothing coming back. You see some meaningless punches. And then this is the very end of the round. There's that little Fernando Vargas moxie from Barraza sticking his tongue out. He went down, but you know what? Literally, he didn't go down. And he showed a lot of heart in this fight. He was just outgunned. Tony Ojeda, the bigger fighter, the stronger fighter, leverage on those punches. Again, the bell rang to save Barraza, but not for long. Dr. Jenkin stopped the fight right after.
All right, let's put a punctuation point on it by making it official and go to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has been stopped at the end of round number 3. A referee in charge, Dr. James Jenkin, stops the contest upon suggestion of the corner. He's the winner by way of knockout, Jose Antonio El Monarca Ojeda.
Steve, the unvarnished truth here, I want to see this guy again. which is what we talked about. The new year to uncover new prospects. We've got Ishaq Smith coming up later. I wouldn't call him an old prospect, but we saw his steady progress on Showbox last year. Here we are in January, and this kid showed me something.
No, he did. He was aggressive. Again, you have to take it with a grain of salt because of the quality of the opposition. Ojeda looked like a 1 or 2 divisions bigger than his opponent. But it was impressive. I just like the way offensively he looked. Again, how does he fight when someone boxes him? How does he fight when he gets hit? That remains to be seen. But he answered all the questions tonight.
Answered one question for us. It's not always, you know, there comes a time when you just can't listen to the wife anymore, and you got to go back in the ring. So after a 2.5-year layoff because his wife urged him to quit, Tony Ojeda is back, and we are glad he is. Boxing tonight's coming to you from the Chumash Casino Resort just outside Santa Barbara, California, where our main event, the welterweight